Maybe you can hear the tune in the background. It's been a long time, but I'm back, a little back on the vid. And, you know, there's a story from my life that I realize is part of what I can share with you and why I want to share the things I want to share with you. And it's kind of a funny story. It's a story that my mom has told about me now and then, ever since I had my first baby, Casey, who's now 13. So I was getting into yoga a few years before I got pregnant, and then I wound up getting pregnant with my husband during my year-long teacher training for my first real year of focusing toward trying to teach and share yoga. So I was practicing yoga and in my teacher training for yoga while I was pregnant, and I wound up having a pretty smooth birth with my first baby, although there were a few hours of pushing that were a little tricky. I think it was partly because I was a little bit strapped to the bed and a little bit medicated, but so I was pushing for a few hours. And I remember, as my mom and my sister were in the room, one of the nurses commented on how calm I was staying during this challenging part, and that she was just like noting that. And as my mom tells the story, I kind of look up, you know, between contractions and say, "It's the yoga." And so my mom has told that story quite wittily. My mom is super awesome and smart and articulate. And so about me saying this, "It's the yoga." And, you know, I remember thinking the reason I replied like that is I kind of wanted to attribute to yoga my ability to stay calm through that, my own version, you know, with the breath, with the focus, with getting better at being relaxed through things, and probably even with some of the attitude I was already developing as a yogi. So anyways, I remember thinking that I wanted the hospital staff to, you know, make note, if you see something good here, it's the yoga. So I find myself saying that more and more again in reply to other sorts of compliments. You know, whether it's about the fact that I generally am pretty happy and loving life and feeling good and nimble and looking better and better and skin even looking younger. But my reply again and again, I just want to say, it's the yoga. On so many levels. So for me, these practices that are ever creative, ever expanding, and we always have the ability to really personalize them, which is part of what I love, is really getting personal with which types of practices, which parts of the practices feel right for you, and even letting yourself make just about anything into a practice as you realize how it focuses you and helps you feel and function. So for me, in so many ways, it's the yoga. And if you know me at all with my yoga teachings, I'm all about reminding that yoga really just means union, or to connect or join or align. So it's all the many ways we might do that. But I am also fired up about some of the specific exercises of yoga, like the magnificent, therapeutic, amazing postures, the super powerful, ever-present possibilities with the breath, sound, imagination, words, how we're using them, how we're thinking about them, focus, attention, awareness, just so many things that we get from what we can call yoga. So that's what I'm here to share with you, is for me, it's the yoga, and it just keeps getting better. So I look forward to sharing more with you, and stay tuned, and do subscribe to the channel here if you want to catch it as I let it out. So namaste, and thanks for playing with me, and good to be back on the scene with the vid. Adios.